Hello, everybody, and welcome to a physical episode of A Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 154 for July 3rd, 2026. Hope you all are having a happy 4th of July weekend. I'm not, but hey, you know what? We'll keep it going. We'll make it last as long as we can. I'm joined today by two very special guests to talk about all the terrible news in the gaming industry. First and foremost, always makes my day brighter when I get to talk to him, my man Dark.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm also joined by Bob.
What? No, nothing.
No ceremony.
You know what a
Damn.
lot, Bob. I don't get Dark as often, all right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Doing good? Okay, that's good to hear. Well, boys, I don't really want to start with too much crazy shit. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are, we're on them. Like the podcast helps a lot. And Twitter and Blue Sky to Slice of Gaming, all one word. I have a fun icebreaker. I want you guys to tell me, what was your favorite memory of getting a physical video game? You know, just a midnight release, a kind of like game that you bought on sale, or just like a memory you have with a game that you bought physically, considering we won't be able to do that anymore.
I have
knew this
a very,
question was going to be coming up today.
very fun one.
I'm,
I feel like it's
I'm
gonna
not very
sidetrack.
happy. I mean, Dark, you go first. You said you had some?
Yeah, so I remember this was back in what was it? Kind of thing. It was either like right before I started high school, or like towards the end of middle school when I got my first. Final Fantasy 15 was my first ever Final Fantasy game that I ever played. That was the first one that got me into it. But my dad picked me up a physical copy of it, and I was so hyped just looking at it. But it was that whole genre at the time for me back then. That was brand new to me. So I always look back on that fondly. Yeah, that shit won't be happening.
So Final Fantasy 15 was your first one, and then from there you were like, I'm gonna go back and play all of them now.
Yeah, because I found out that because I thought at the time, because obviously I didn't know anything about the series. I was like, oh damn, how like.
15 of these?
Like, it's just, am I joining it at the right then? But then someone mentioned, hey, no, you can just play them like they're all individual. I was like, oh, okay. So and I really enjoyed 15, even though like that has its own issues. But that's what got me into the series. And just so you know, on the car ride back home, looking at the but I was a kid back then, so you know, the car ride back home, looking at the box art and everything.
Yeah, I mean that's always a special moment when you're like covered bag and you're like, you check the case, the booklet, which also still doesn't exist anymore. But I remember reading the booklet back and forth, like, oh my god, I'm gonna do so much shit in this game. This is exciting. The new case smell, like I know that's a weird thing. It's a little corny, but dude, that shit smelled good when you took it out of the case. It still smells good. Whenever I get a new game, I'm like, damn, that shit smelled good. Bob, do you got any fun stories?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it before, but Halo 3, I mean, there was nothing better than waiting in line with the boys. Because, like, we convinced one of our friends' dads to come with us to, like, essentially buy it for us. And then we were all there because we were literally doing a sleepover that night. Like, we were just going to go home and play Halo 3 for, like, until the sun came up. So we did that. But then, like, halfway through the night, we were messing around in Forge, and I think someone was like, hey, your Xbox is like really hot. Like, it wasn't mine, it was my buddy's. And one of our other friends was like, hey, your Xbox is running really hot. Like, because he had it, like, he moved a TV, like a smaller TV, into his room and then like put the Xbox like straight on the carpet. And I was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have it on the carpet. Like, go get like a textbook or something and I can like put it like on that. And so we did that while the disc was still in the system, and it just scratched the fuck out of it. And then we couldn't play Halo 3 for the rest of the night, and we had to go back in the next day and be like, hey, you gave us a defective copy. Can we switch it out? And GameStop was like, sure, okay, whatever. It's like, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was probably the funniest one. I do distinctly remember, it wasn't like a midnight launch or anything, but getting Diamond and Pearl on launch day was really fun because somehow I convinced my parents I needed both. I don't know how I pulled that off, but I just remember like my buddy having Ruby or having Sapphire, and I had Ruby, and I was like, no, screw this. Like, I want to just like be able to trade with myself. I didn't have two DSs. I didn't know what my plan was, but I got that, and I remember the GameStop guy was like, "Oh, hey, you got both? Here, here's a stylus holder, and here are like these. Like, I don't know if you ever got these, Wolf, but
Yeah, it's like in your kit, you take little like stylus holders. It holds like 3 or 4 styluses, but like I only ever had one.
well, no, it was like the GameStop was doing these specials. Like, they were massive. You could not fit these in the DS. Like, they were full blown like pens, and
Oh, I know what you're talking
with
about.
like
They're
the
like these
little
giant. They're like
Dialga and
Apple pens.
Palkia. Yeah. And they had the little like figures on top, and then you had like a stand, almost like uh, uh, what is the mountain in Sinnoh?
Mount Coronet.
Yeah, it almost looked like Mount Coronet, and it was like a holder for them, and that was like the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, this rules. It's such a pain in the ass to use this stylus, but this rules.
Hang on. I see a picture. This might be it. I don't think this is the exact one, but I think it's kind of like what you're talking about. I just sent it in the podcast docs.
Oh no! I'll find it for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I love those little like my favorite thing was like certain companies just trying to find something. God, I don't remember. There was a GameStop promotion. Oh, it was for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I guess this would be one of my stories. I got that game day one, and when I went to GameStop to pick it up because I pre-ordered it, and they were like, "Oh, we got a pre-order bonus for you." I'm like, "Sweet, okay." And it's a hat with the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth logo. I'm like, "Okay, that's not the coolest thing, but like, I'll start wearing a hat for it." The hat didn't fit me. And straight up, like, no matter what I did, it just would not fit me at all. And I'm like, "Well, this is actively useless to me." So I just gave it to my sister's fiance. It was just
That's
like,
funny.
"Oh, well, cool. I just can't do anything with this."
Uh,
um,
yeah, I put it in chat
oh, you got
what
it.
I was talking about.
Yeah, I've seen these before. They're like rare, I think.
Yeah, they apparently they're going for like $80 on
You still have
Macari
yours?
and eBay. No, I have no idea what
Ah,
happened to them.
damn.
Um,
There's always
yeah,
like that random rare game that you got rid of as a kid, and you're like, "Fuck."
yeah,
But
right. No, I'm absolutely yeah, and I was definitely the kid that was like trading in some of my older games at GameStop to buy
mhm.
one new one, and
Oh yeah,
I
all the time.
have plenty of regrets about that.
I traded in Phantom Hourglass, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass, and I know Jack would hate me for that because he loves that game. I traded that in for God, I think like some DS shovelware games. I'm like, oh, I'll get multiple games. It's like, God damn it, I'm mad at myself because I don't think that game's like super expensive, but it's like it'd be nice to have.
Yeah, no,
um,
100%.
so I still buy like pretty much 90% physical nowadays. So like I have a lot of stories. I got some fun ones though. GTA 5. I remember
Yep.
so I was I want to say 11 when that game came out. Should not have bought it, but you talk to your parents. They're like, "Oh, as long as you don't do this, that, and the other, you don't." My parents were very much their stickler was like, "Oh, it's cool with the violence, but like don't curse." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
right.
So I got that game day one, and dude, I'll never forget the GameStop forced us to sign like a waiver or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, because my sister took me, and they were like, "Oh, you have to sign this, to since it's for your brother." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get in so much legal trouble."
I'm gonna get sued.
I'm
The
gonna
cops
get,
are coming, bro.
but it was all cool. My sister didn't even say anything about it to our parents. It's just like, "Okay, I'll just get it for you. Don't worry." So I got that, and I remember going home. Um, Bob, you're gonna laugh. I got the 360 copy because I had a 360 at the time, and I'm like, oh, I want to play games on it. So I bought the 360 copy, and I remember going home in the car, just and when you open it, you get the map of Los
Yep.
Santos. And while the game was installing or something, I think it had like an initial install. I was pouring over the map like, okay, I'm gonna go here, and then I'm
Dude,
gonna
I
try to
did
go
the
to this
same
area.
exact thing. I
Yep.
did the exact same thing.
Because they gave you the map, so it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. I love that story Nikki Jakey talks about with GTA 4, where like they would give you a specific street name for like one of the side missions, so he
Hmm.
had to pull over the map and look for those street names, stuff like
Yeah.
that, where it's just like I love that level of detail. And I remember just like seeing Mount Chiliad. It's like Mount Chiliad. I'm like, I gotta go there, and like that was like one of the first things I did. with Franklin. I just drove all the way over to Mount Chiliad and went to the summit. And I'm like, and this is coming from someone who only played. Well, I played all the GTA's, but like my main GTA at that time was 4. So like that's like a city versus like now this giant countryside. I just overlooked the top of the mountain. I'm like, games will never look better than this.
Yeah.
They just won't. And they did, but man, does it it's hard to beat that. Another one was this is a midnight release story. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. I got that game at the midnight launch. And I remember this is a very funny thing. You guys remember that the Game Awards are happening the same night as the midnight launch for Smash Ultimate, and that's where they revealed Joker. And I remember just like I was a huge Persona 5 fan at the time, and I'm sitting there in the GameStop. I'm talking to this guy, and he was like, "Yeah, this is a bigger launch event than like Black Ops 4 and whatnot." We were just yapping it up, and then just some guy walks in. It's like Joker's in Smash. And like I'm sitting there like Batman Joker? Like how does that work? And we're like sitting there. And I'm thinking about all the Jokers. I'm like, wait, no shot. And is that I remember just pulling out my phone and I kept refreshing, like Joker Smash, and like none of the articles were ended. And then like 1 minute ago, Joker from Persona 5 is in Smash Ultimate from like Polygon. I'm like freaking out, like, what? I didn't think it was fucking possible. And it's just like having that moment and then getting Smash Ultimate, like the GameStop employee handing it to me, and we were like playing like Brawl and Smash 4 while waiting for that game too. And I remember the car ride home with my mom, and she was like, I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get home. I gotta play it. And then she's just sitting there like, oh, I gotta go drop by Kroger real quick. It's like, now? You want to go to Kroger now? When I got Smash Ultimate, so I had to sit in the car for another like 30 minutes. And we finally get home. I played like 2 matches, and she's like, you have school tomorrow. You should probably go to bed. I'm like, God damn it. And I remember still up. I woke up at like 5 a.m. I'm like, I'm still playing more.
Oh,
I'm still
yeah.
playing like the 2 hours before.
You
I
had to
have
wake
go.
up early before school to get some
Yep.
in.
Yep, because I was so fucking hyped for that game. Yeah, I mean, I have tons of game stories. If you can't tell, this shit means a lot to me. So, yeah, the news is not very happy.
I never really had the chance to go to that many midnight launches. I only ever really went to one. I technically went to 2. I went to Halo 3s, but I was like really, really little, so I barely remember that. But I also went to Halo 4s. And that one was really funny because this was my only time I ever done this. And the line was like around the block. So like it was from the GameStop and then it was like out and around the block.
Yeah.
But then what ended up happening at around like 10:30, 11 o'clock, this guy came out. And he just straight up asked people. He had like a list, like one of those billboards. And he had a list, went down to everybody, asked what edition they're buying if they had pre-orders, and then took the money there out in the street.
Oh my god!
Went back in, and it was like 10 minutes later he came out with all the copies and just said everyone out early.
That's amazing.
Holy shit! I thought he was gonna say he took your money and ran. He didn't work for GameStop.
Hilarious. No, and everyone gave him the money, and then he just comes out with like the collector's editions and everything. And he just handed them out, and then we all went home early to play.
That's cool.
Well, boys, that was a fun stories. Now it's time for depression. The gaming news this week is destructive. I only put in 2 stories, or 2, like I guess technically 3 major stories. 2 of them from bumfuck Sony, and the other one from bumfuck Microsoft. So excited to talk about that. I tried to find a happy news story. There was nothing. no, like. Oh, this game's doing well. You know what? Shout out to Mecha Chameleon. That sold 10 million copies. Shout out to that. The game's still prospering. First and foremost, though, let's talk about my favorite game company, PlayStation. This is from the PlayStation blog on July 1st, 2026. Physical disc production ending in January 2028 for new games releasing on PlayStation consoles. And this is Sid Schumann wrote this. They just throw him into the line of fire. In response to shifting trends in consumer preference, new games will be released on PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. As consumer preferences in the broader entertainment industry continue to shift away from physical discs to digital, physical game disc production for all new games releasing on PlayStation consoles will be discontinued starting January 2028. Following this date, new games will be available on the PlayStation Store and at retailers in digital formats only. This transition has no impact on games that are already released or will be releasing prior to January 2028 in disc format. This is a natural direction for Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt to consumer trends as the general preference for digital media significantly outpaces physical discs. This transition will enable us to align more closely with how most of our community prefers to access and play games today. We'll continue to prioritize our resources to drive innovation in how players can access games and provide choices as to where players prefer to purchase new games, whether that's retailers or the PlayStation Store. We remain committed to delivering a world-class gaming experience to our fans, and we thank you for your continued support. I want to point out, just real quick before we get into anything, this PlayStation blog post has 7,645 comments. Most of these posts, at max, have like 20. So, people are getting their voices heard. I have a lot to say. I'll just start with this. I never thought, I always wondered, it's like, what would be the thing, not to take me away from consoles, but just to take me away from PlayStation? I've been a PlayStation fan since the PlayStation 2. I went back to the PlayStation 1 even. I've been on every generation. I've had thousands of hours across each of their devices. PlayStation means a lot to me, and I always joke about being a Sony pony, but like in a lot of ways I am. And even despite all the frustrating things that they've done in recent years, I still always fiercely defended them. And I don't even want to say defend them, but I've always stuck with them because I thought, like, I'm a PlayStation fan. I stick with them. This news single-handedly tells me I'm done. By 2028, I will no longer be buying PlayStation products. I maybe occasionally something on the PlayStation Store on deep discount if something is cross-gen on PS5 that I care about, like the next Astrobot, fine. But even then, I'll probably buy it on a sale. I 1000% am certifiably not buying a PlayStation 6. They can go fuck themselves. I have a lot to say about this in general. I just want to get y'all's off the top level thoughts too. Bob, let's start with you.
Sure. Yeah, this was, I mean, just shocking, really. Just from the sense that, like, obviously, I think the thing everyone immediately points to is the infamous 2013 "How to Share a Game" video with what was it? Chu
Shuhei
and
Yoshida and Adam Boyce.
yeah, and that signaled to that generation, hey, we care about games. This console is made for games. We're making games that you want to play, and we're going to do it the way you guys want to interact with the medium. Like, we still care about video games. And I think that really set the tone for the PS4 and for people to, not buy an Xbox One, obviously because of their digital DRM. And buy a PlayStation. And I think that momentum, that single moment, domino affected into the massive success of the PS4, and which then kind of maintained that momentum into the PS5. And so for them to just completely reverse course, I think is just like no one would have expected. Like it, and it's not even like that they were like, oh, they're making less, because Xbox has kind of been doing this for a while, just kind of silently, where it's like, okay, we're making less physical games. The physical games we do have are on, it's just essentially a code on a disc or a key on a disc, and then you download it. So like they've been like silently doing this for a while, and that's only
And even
yeah,
then, I just want to immediately point out, like, those code on the disc, that was never from PlayStation first party. That was always like third party companies like EA or Ubisoft doing that shit.
Right. And I think and Sony has always been very good about keeping the full game on a disc, or at least as far as I know, like the full game.
No, every single PlayStation Studios game is fully on the disc.
Yeah. So to not only, I think we all would have expected going into PS6, slowly, maybe if they were going to do anything, slowly, kind of like silently start phasing that out. Not here's a press release, we're fucking done. Like, I don't think anyone would have expected that. And the thought that immediately came into my mind, besides the 2013 stuff, was Sony has now become the worst company for game preservation. And because I think, yes, Xbox doesn't have the disc, but Xbox has been surprisingly great at backwards compatibility. Like you can put in a disc from you can put in OG launch day Halo Xbox disc into a Series X and it will play. And Nintendo, I mean, granted, they also do emulation, but they're still making cartridges for as far as we can tell. But Sony, you can't just pop in your discs from the PS3 and before. You have to emulate it on the PS5. And then now
They don't
you're
even
not
let you
going to
do
have.
that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then plus it's paywall too, which I guess it is on Nintendo. But either way,
Yeah, I mean, like the PS3 is like you have to stream it. Like you
right.
don't even. Which, granted, with NSO, it's kind of the same thing, like straight up, but it's all within one service. And the PS3 streamers have not been updated since the PS4 came out. So
I'm shocked. Yeah, I mean, like literally the emulation on PC for PS3 is leagues
100%.
above what the PS5 is doing. So yeah, it's just crazy. And even PC, you have GOG, where if you buy a game that is physically on your system, there's no DRM. You just straight up own that game. So every other platform, in one way or another, is doing something to preserve their games, and Sony's essentially saying, "Yeah, fuck you guys." And I know you're gonna lean into this in the future, but it's like, could you not time this any better with like, oh, and also we took a bunch of movies off of
Yep.
away from you that you bought. We took those
And the
licenses
PS3
away,
store is gone,
and
and the PS
right,
store is gone. Like
we're closing the store.
great timing.
So we're gonna do all the things to fuck over your digital purchases while also announcing we're going to digital purchases only. And I think the one final thing I'll say that just like really drives this all home is I don't think I realized this until I started using a game purchase aggregator like GG.deals. But you go on Steam, you go on Xbox, you can either download them from you can buy it straight from the store, or you can go on these game key websites and get probably a little bit better deal. Now, depending on the store you buy it from, might be a little sketchy, but you do have that ability to get a better price than what is on the like platform storefront. With Switch, you don't have that. However, you still have the physical storefronts who will discount those games, usually a little bit better than the online store.
I got Luigi's Mansion 4, or no, Luigi's Mansion 3 at Best Buy for $20, like a year after it came out. So
yeah, and that's how I got Breath of the Wild, because it wouldn't go to 30 on online, but I got it in store for 30 on like a Black Friday deal. And like even recently, I've bought all the Metal Gear Solid games physically because the best deal is from a physical sale. And now that PlayStation's getting rid of physical discs, they don't offer you can't buy a game from anywhere else that isn't the PlayStation Store. So not only do you not have the ability to buy this physically, but you are going to pay the price that Sony wants you to pay. There is no other way around it unless you can find a gift card on sale. And to me, that is the most insane part about this, is that they are just controlling every single element while also like, the fucked up thing about all of this is that this is the most we don't give a shit about the consumer move. Potentially, I don't know. I don't want to be over exaggerating and say ever, but it is. Yeah, it's because you're laying off the people that are all of the like limited run games, all of those third party, and even
Asia, they're gone. GameStop is finally dead. Every single retail. By the way, I want to point out, these are the retailers that are going to be stocking your PlayStation 6s.
Right.
And you're just saying like fuck you to them. If I'm Walmart, I'm like, no, we don't want them. We're not going to carry your PlayStation 6. Just straight up.
Right. And so you're doing that. You're making it worse on the consumer, and I don't know if this is in one of your points, but it's like shareholder stakes went up 3% over the last week, and it's like, oh, so this is who it's for. You don't give a fuck about who you're making your games for. You don't give a fuck about who you're selling your games with. You just want to make that stock graph go up at the sake of literally everything, and that's just such a frustrating move for them to do when they were historically the ones who were championing all of this.
It should also be noted that the next shareholder meeting will not include stuff from July, which is when they announced this change. So, like, everyone canceling their PlayStation Plus subscriptions will not be reflected in the next shareholder meeting, which I think is next month or the month after. So they're actively just trying to avoid any bad publicity, which, by the way, have not tweeted from the official PlayStation account since this change. And if you actually look at the official tweet, it has more comments than likes, which is very rare.
That's usually a good sign.
Yeah, 72,000 comments, 57K likes, which, by the way, who's liking this? It's just comical. Nobody likes this. Everyone hates this. It is actively spitting in the face of consumer ownership. And I have a lot to say about this shit. Dark, I want to get you on the record first, though.
You know, a while back, I did transfer to being primarily digital for the most part. There are some exceptions, but
Of course.
for me personally, just it was more so of the fact that's like, oh, this is how I like to do things, but I'm happy that there's also physical, right? So it's like no one's really getting hurt by it. It's just how I prefer to do things. I don't really like that they're just taking away options from us. It's also going to be really weird when you think about a couple things. So like the next generation of kids growing up and shit, they're not gonna like unless we put them on older consoles and have them experience it. They're not gonna really know what the fuck this is or what's really happening. This is just gonna be the normal for them.
Mm-hmm.
But then also in like I brought it up like the other day in like 15 to 20 years time when you try to go back to the PS6, there's nothing there. It's just like fucking console. If they shut down the store of the console, you won't be able to play anything on this console.
Yep.
And really
sorry,
went over like just about everything that I was gonna touch upon, but it's just really weird and sad.
Weird and sad, and also anger-inducing is all the things I have. So I have a lot of points. I have a lot of notes. Let's first and foremost, let's talk about why Sony's doing this. What is the benefit of Sony removing an option from the consumer? Well, first and foremost, all money funnels through them. They don't have to spend money manufacturing, shipping, any type of cost with the disc. Which, by the way, discs are very cheap. That was a negligible cost of the production. A game would have a $200 million budget and like $1 million would go to the discs. You would immediately make that money back after selling like 14K copies, if even. So immediately, that's barely even a factor. That's just skimming the tiniest bit off the top in an attempt to try to figure out your margins in some way outside of, hey, maybe we should make games with smaller budgets instead. So that's immediately something. They want to try to cut out the middleman completely. Because another thing is the retailers. You go to Walmart and you buy a game from them. Walmart takes money off of Sony's initial check there. So me buying Spider-Man 2 from Walmart, Sony does not get the full 100% from that sale. Walmart takes some from that sale. And it's the same with buying a third-party game off of the PlayStation Store. EA does not get 100% of the sale if I buy Battlefield 6 for $70. Sony takes 30% of that. That is just the way things have been going. Sony wants a situation where they get 100% of the sale no matter what. If I buy Spider-Man 2 off of the PlayStation Digital Store, they get everything. Because, remind me if I'm wrong, Spider-Man 2, it's their proprietary engine, right? They don't, it's not Unreal or anything?
I believe so. I can double check that for you.
Yeah, double check it. Let's just say it's a proprietary engine. A better example, Death Stranding 2 or Horizon Zero Dawn. That's Decima. That is their proprietary engine. If I buy Horizon Forbidden West for $60, the full 60 goes to Sony. They don't have to share with anybody. They don't share with retailers or anyone else. That's why they want to push you to digital. That's why digital has always been the thing they pushed you towards since the PlayStation 3. They've always pushed you towards digital. Another thing, they don't have to deal with used games. If you remember back in the PS3 era, the used game market was massive. You remember buying Battlefield 3 for $10? that was great for the consumer because you didn't have to pay full price because that was another person's copy that they're done with. That's why back then and during that era, they did something called online passes. They were these things that came with your game that if you redeemed them, you were able to play online. And if you didn't redeem them, you had to buy it through the PlayStation Store. So immediately, that's another thing that, oh, now we don't have to deal with the used game market. We don't have to deal with Bop buying Metal Gear Solid Delta for $25 instead of paying the full price so that we can get the maximum amount of profits. So that's another thing. That's why Sony is getting rid of this. They want all the money to funnel through them. They don't want to share with anyone else. Now let's talk about why physical games are important to us, or at least to someone like me, and even to the digital consumers like Dark. That is, you guys are getting affected by this too. Physical games are great for people like me and Jack. Why we love them is one, full ownership. There's always this misconception. There is this misconception that people like Jez even throw out there of, oh, it's just a key. You still have to download. That downloading is not a download off of a server. It is downloading off of the disk. It is copying from the disk. If I go to doesitplay.com, 94% of games through their website are on the disc. And I think I can check specifically. PS5. PS5 games, you can play offline about 94%. Hang on. That is a weird thing. I should have checked this beforehand. That's on me. But even then, it is a vast majority of games that if I put it through the disc, and Mudahar from Somewhere in the Game has actually tested this. If you remove the network chip from your PlayStation 5 to the point where it's like now it can't even connect to the internet if it wanted to from a brand new PlayStation 5, you take that out, you can still play games like Death Stranding 2, Astrobot, Spider-Man 2, mostly first party Sony games, so a lot of third party games as well, Pragmata, Resident Evil Requiem. You take out that network chip, and it never connects to the internet. It's still copying fully from the disk. So even if Sony decides to shut down the servers, that game is fully yours. I need a breath. Give me a second. I have a lot to talk about, so I just wanted to get all that out of the way.
Yeah,
How you guys
good.
doing today? We're good.
That's going all right.
But
Okay, cool.
for the record, yeah, Insomniac has a proprietary engine, so
Okay, that's
Spider-Man
what I
2
thought,
is on
yeah.
that.
Appreciate that. Okay, so let's talk about why the benefit to. I want to actually talk about the benefits for digital gamers. So, Dark, you're a fully digital gamer.
Yep.
The reason that this sucks for you is Sony can set the prices to whatever they want. I have
Oh yeah,
this
the
tweet from.
prices are not going down because of this.
Yeah, so you look. This is actually a great example of something that happened recently. Nintendo has recently changed the way they handle physical digital pricing. A game like Star Fox is $40 digitally, or no, $50 digitally and $60 physically. If I want a physical copy of it, I'm paying $10 extra. Now you would think, oh, this should apply to PlayStation. Now the games are going to go cheaper in price. Not the case. And as you mentioned earlier, Bob, about game sales, Dustin Furman puts out this great tweet of showcasing Astrobot, a game that came out in 2024, is $40 physically on Amazon and is $60 through the PlayStation Store. And I can wait for an eventual sale, but that's the thing. I have to wait. And it's really at the mercy of PlayStation. Another great example is a game that came out in 2021, The Last of Us Part 1, technically a game that came out in 2013. I could buy for $34 on Amazon PlayStation 5. But if I go check the PlayStation Store, it is the full $70. I have to pay the full price no matter what, because to them, they're like, hey, you wait for a sale. We dictate when you can buy this game for a cheaper price. So that's another immediate downgrade for digital gamers. Because guess what? When they remove the physical market, you guys are getting screwed too. And at the end of the day, I want to point out, I have nothing against digital gamers. I think that is a totally fair, and I get you don't want to deal with the clutter. All that is necessary, I'm fine with it. But the option should always exist, because if you remove the option, now people are going to be able to do whatever the hell, like Sony can do whatever the hell they want, because they don't have to deal with Walmart going, oh, you're still charging 60 for that game? Okay, we're going to charge 40. And then Best Buy's like, oh, now we're going to charge 30. And it's a constant price lowering. Whereas Sony's like, oh, we're the only ones who sell it. Yeah, this is 70. It's going to stay 70. Oh, we'll put it on discount for this Black Friday sale. Now it's 45, if even. They'll probably be like 60. And it's like, that's a sale. So they get to set the prices, whatever they want. And it should be noted that they're also testing variable pricing. If I go over, hang on, which tab do I have a lot of tabs open right now. PSprices.com. They wrote this article about a few months ago. Sony is testing dynamic pricing in the PlayStation Store. And this is something that is tested in certain regions where the regular price for a game like Spider-Man 2 is $79.99. That's not true. Oh, euros. And the experimental price is $69.99. And it is a discount offered to certain people. We don't know what causes these discounts, but it is a variable pricing scheme that they are trying to attempt in an attempt to get people to spend more or less on games depending on where they are located in the world, their buying habits, their playing habits, all that type of crap. Something that you can't even control. What you can control is how much a physical game costs, because Walmart wants to sell it to you for a cheaper price because they want you to buy it through them. So that's great. So if you want to fuck with variable pricing, there's another thing that Sony's going to have a lot of fun with. A lot of notes here. I want to talk about the physical digital split. So PO puts out a great tweet of explaining the financial year 2025 full year, April 2025 to March 2026, so effectively last year. The digital to physical split was 78% to 22%. Now you guys may look at that number and you're like, wow, the digital physical split is really rough. And you look at someone like a Jason Schreier, who is a very educated individual about everything except this. He goes and it's like, guys, look, digital is like 80%. Isn't this crazy? Except this number is not really true. When I talk about the 78-22% split, it is not. It is fully including games that are digital only. Hollow Knight Silksong is a game that is fully digital. 5 million sales digitally on PlayStation 5 all go into the digital split. Whereas a game like Pragmata, which is physical and digital, you get the part from the physical side and the digital side. That's why the split looks so aggressive. Let's look at the Insomniac Lake numbers. God of War Ragnarok, a game that comes out from 2022, was a 76% physical, 24% digital split. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Bob, that was 2022, right?
Which one?
Bob Stud.
No, what? No, what?
Sorry. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. That's 2022, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, I know I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I just had a lot of shit to get into. Yeah, so 63% physical, 37% digital for that game. Now let's look at a more recent game. Marvel Spider-Man 2, 54% physical, 46% digital. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, a game that, if you remember, did not come on the disc. It was a game that you had to download most of the game to even play it. It's 40% physical, 60% digital. Hogwarts Legacy, 44% physical, 56% digital. Resident Evil 4 Remake, 45% physical, 55% digital. Excuse me. If you look at the UK Europe retail data as well, Astrobot in the UK, 55% physical and 60% physical for Europe numbers. It is clear the split is not as aggressive as Sony is trying to make it out to be, because they are actively including fully digital games to try to make that split look way more harsh and say, oh, look, majority of people are digital. And here's the thing. Majority of games are bought digitally. No one is arguing against that. That is fully 1000% a fact. It is not 80-20. It is closer to a 60-40. So when you want to talk about, again, people who is like, I haven't bought a digital game in decades. First and foremost, have a little bit of empathy. A lot of people still buy games physically. And secondly, think about, hey, I'm going to get screwed over too. Like I said about the prices. So really, everyone gets screwed here. I don't know why you can even try to run defense for this. I talked a lot. You guys want to chime in on anything I said so far?
I got a point. I got a point to make, just to like head it in real quick, because I want to get you guys' takes on this. So another thing, right? So they're going all digital. Okay, cool. There is a group of people who only buy physical, like yourself, that are more inclined to buy your what's going to most likely be around $1,000 console, because the prices of everything have gone up tremendously. So the prices, I don't have like the numbers in front of me, but recently, due to everything that's going on with like the data chips and AI and all this nonsense, the prices of consoles have gone up tremendously.
Of course.
And the new PlayStation 6 and whatever like the new Xbox is going to be is likely going to be in the $1,000 range or close to it. So now we're hearing rumors that they're going to come out with like an optional, I'm assuming it's an optional disk drive to turn your physical games digital.
Yeah, so that was that was a thing from Xbox specifically. I
Yeah.
actually have the article
We're hearing
here.
rumors of it, but I would assume Sony's gonna have this too, because if you don't, what's essentially what this means is
Ah,
that if you don't have this, you're pretty much telling all the people who own physical only that they have to completely restart their library.
Yeah, that's literally what they're saying.
yeah,
I mean,
no, I don't think they have any plans to do that.
so Tom's Hardware has this Xbox reportedly testing a way to digitize physical games in the wake of PlayStation killing game disc feature said to go back to Xbox One era games. As Andrew Friedman over at Tom's Hardware, Microsoft is reportedly working on a feature that would enable the digitalization of disc-based games. According to Verge, this would assist players in older games on newer consoles, especially if Microsoft follows Sony's PlayStation in abandoning physical game production. According to the report, employees at Xbox are testing the disc-to-digital feature, which will work on Xbox One and Xbox Series discs, but not the original Xbox or 360. Yada yada yada. Uh, I mean, Bob, we're fully in agreement. Xbox is. I'm shocked Xbox didn't do the killing of this first, to be honest, because they've clearly already prioritized like don't care about physical.
So I think in terms of that, I think Xbox is probably still going to have the option, because Bob brought up a good point I didn't even mention, which was the backwards compatibility, because they still let you do that. I feel like they might just keep it just for that. Potentially, I could be wrong, but
But I mean, honestly, Dark. Another thing that should be mentioned is Tom Henderson recently reported around September of last year that their PS6 would have a separate disk drive add-on for like
yeah. So,
disc-based games. That's why people thought PS6 was going to have discs, but apparently
so
not.
I'm also
That's
saying.
assumedly for back compat.
So on top of the fact that this new console is gonna cost around $1,000 roughly, give or take, they're gonna charge you extra, which is probably gonna be another $100 or $200 for this optional disc tray to either play disc games or to just get your own library back,
Yep.
which is just shooting the people who help you in the first place in the face. Because
It's
these are the
literally like
people most likely to buy your super expensive console day one.
that's a great point. It's literally like these are the hardcore people that would have bought it. I would have bought a PlayStation 6. I was probably going to buy a PS6. Now I'm completely out because it's like, oh, okay, you clearly don't give a fuck about this thing that I care about, so I'm out. What's it called? I do. So I have other things I want to mention. So another thing that is always kind of brought up against physical games is that they get leaked early. Who gives a fuck? Okay, I'm sorry. I have to be completely honest. Like, oh man, it leaked early. There's spoilers online. Okay, whatever. Whatever. That's literally how I have to feel. Okay, I'll
I don't think
not
that
use Twitter
happens
for a
too
week.
often, to be honest.
It happens a lot, but maybe you should figure out your distribution centers more. I don't
Really?
know. Like,
But there's also such an easy fix to that. Just lock the game for everyone who doesn't have a review copy so that you can't fucking play it. Like, and at that point, if reviewers are giving it to someone random, that's on them and they shouldn't be getting copies anymore. Like, that's such a crazy argument too, just because it doesn't make a lick of sense.
and here's the thing, Bob, is like that's not like a great option for like the physical collectors like me. But even then, it's like print this later on with that update already installed. And it's
Right.
like, okay, if you want that version, like we'll release it later. But then have like that day one copy, like your master print, like the game that's going to be sold on store shelves first. Have require the update, and then from there put the update on the disc. But instead, you're
Right.
like, ow, Rockstar over here, like,
None of
shut
that is
up.
coming through the mic.
Yeah, whatever you said, it did not pick up on whatsoever.
I think it was
I
a
I
great.
just,
It was a great attempt. It fell
it,
through on the
my apologies.
Discord.
Thank you, Crisp. But no, it's just like, oh, we can't buy oh, it's gonna leak. Oh no, shut up. I don't care. Just shut up. So that's the thing. I also want to talk about security issues. There were great memes going online of I saw one tweet that was great of reporting a guy and then rage baiting a guy and then reporting him so that he gets banned out of his account and loses thousands of dollars of his games. And that is effectively what can happen. Where someone like Colin Moriarty, he recently got hacked and he is fully digital gamer and he lost access to his account because he posted a receipt that didn't even have any actual information on it, just a date. And because of PlayStation's and PSN's garbage security, which by the way has had a major hack happen to it back in the PS3 days, it constantly goes offline. Very unsecure network, and they're sitting there like, yeah, but you should trust us. Immediately, no, I do not trust you, PlayStation. You have zero security, and you are filled with numbskulls who clearly don't know what the fuck they're doing. So that's immediately something. Your account can get hacked and you can lose literally everything. So that's fun as well. Another thing that a lot of people have been mentioning is the PS6 handheld, that this is being done for the PS6 handheld. No, that's dumb. They're not gonna completely get rid of this because, oh well, we want to make things easier for the PS6 handheld. Just they could easily make it where it's like, listen, this PS6 handheld only works with digital games and if the disc is in the console. That's it. Which then it's like, okay, that's fair enough. I don't even think anyone would be upset about that because you still have a console able to play those games.
Like the Portal already does that. Like it's such a non-start. The Portal already doesn't
exactly.
That's such a non-starter argument.
100%. And these are things I've been looking at all day through all the different. I pulled up all these arguments because it's just like none of these make sense. None of these have any reasoning for why Sony is doing this.
But Wolf,
and we know why Sony is doing it.
You have to understand, like these CEOs and everything, they want their 37th yacht.
100%. Yeah. That was another thing I saw. Even our own Fusion, which, to be fair, I think he knew this was BS. Like, he was just like, oh, maybe. Maybe more of the money will go to the developers. No, it isn't.
Yeah.
I was just wishful thinking on his part.
Yeah, no, he was wishful. I respect him for it, but it's just like, this money is going to go to the CEOs, and we're going to see PlayStation layoffs this month, probably, even.
And that was very much a point that I also tried to make when games first started going up to 70 and even in some cases 80 is that, it'll better benefit the developers. That's clearly wrong. I mean, it's just,
I don't blame you. It's wishful thinking. It's hope.
Yeah.
It's hope that the gaming industry isn't garbage, but it is. So let's talk also about, if you guys remember back in April, there were recent DRM issues where actively Sony was like, hey, or we need a constant internet connection to monitor if your game is available digitally. Now, granted, this was a glitch, but you never know if this was something they wanted to test and see if they could get away with. You don't know how this company fucking operates. They literally just killed discs like yesterday. So immediately that's like, hey, I don't trust you with my digital library. Let's talk about the actual digital ecosystem of PlayStation. Now, guys, what's awesome about Steam? What's awesome about Xbox? I can gift games to you. I have gifted games in the past. I have gifted games to Bench. Bob, have you gifted a game? Probably not.
Probably not.
Oh, you haven't, actually?
No, wait, no, I did gift the game to Colin.
Okay, cool. So, but that's the thing. We can gift games on Xbox, on Steam, and not Nintendo or PlayStation. Now, Nintendo has the physical game cartridges, so there's something there. With this change, I just won't be able to gift any games to PlayStation or to any of my friends on PlayStation. I have a friend who I constantly lend PS5 games to that he wants to check out, and I lend him this stuff, and he brings it back to me, and everything is hunky dory because it is a disc. We will no longer be able to do that come the PS6. So anytime he wants to try out a new game, we're both going to be on Steam by then, so it doesn't even fucking matter anymore.
And to that point, Wolf, one thing that Jat is very vocal about, and something I've been looking into recently, is renting games from your local library. Like a lot of local libraries actually do have a shockingly amount of new releases that you can just, rent with your library membership.
Yeah, no, that's an amazing point. That's something I was going to bring up too. Is local libraries. You go there, and families rely on that shit. Because they are not able to afford brand new games, so they go to the library and they rent it. Jat is constantly renting games from the library, and it's a great way of getting people to play these games. And now you just won't be able to do that anymore. Let's talk about Sony's refund policy. It fucking sucks. Steam has a very clear refund policy of, hey, if you played the game for under 2 hours, you don't like it, you can return it. You play 2 hours, I don't want it anymore.
So something else on that too. Even if you go past the 2 hours, if you give like a valid reason as to like why you just weren't satisfied with the game and stuff, they'll still give you a refund. Steam is really good at this.
And in the sense of PlayStation, it's 2 weeks. You have a maximum of 2 weeks to refund the game, and you can't download the game.
You can't download the game?
You can't download it. If you download the game, it immediately voids your refund request.
Wait a minute, but I'm not sure how it is on PlayStation, but on Xbox, when you buy a game, it typically like starts installing right away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying about PlayStation. Oh,
So,
you're
they
asking.
instantly void the refund.
So no, so on PlayStation it doesn't instantly download the game, but when you buy it, it's like, would you like to download the games? And the option hovers over download all, and 99.9% of people will immediately download the game they just purchased because
But
why the
couldn't
fuck wouldn't they? So outright, immediately it voids your refund request. Now, I want to point out a personal story of me dealing with PlayStation support with this thing. I accidentally bought Disgaea 1 remake or remaster for like $40. I accidentally bought it because it was in my shopping cart with something else. I forgot about it. I accidentally purchased it because it's like a one tap buy type bullshit. So I'm like, damn, okay. Let me contact customer support. I didn't download the game. I didn't touch the game. And I tell them, I'm like, hey, I didn't download this game. I accidentally bought it. Can you refund me? And they're like, oh, we'll take a look. And then they fucking gaslit me. It's like, oh, we see that you downloaded the game, but this one time will help you out. Because this is the first time this has happened. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't download anything. I can literally show you I didn't download the game. And they're acting like they did me a favor. So you have to deal with that bullshit, which, by the way, PlayStation customer support, notoriously fucking garbage. Absolutely dog shit customer support service. So you got to deal with that now if you want to deal with anything digital. They just gaslight you. And that happened to me straight up, man. You were going to say something, Bob?
No, yeah, we saw it with you had mentioned Colin, like they they might have the worst support out of or customer service, I should say, out of like
Easily.
all of the major like companies. Like it's just crazy. Like they are the most obvious, like going to some small third world country who just has a shack and internet connection, being like, hey guys, we're not going to tell you anything, just go for it.
Yeah, and every time that they are able to do stuff, if your account gets hacked and you tell them, it's like, hey, here's all my info, here's everything you need to know. This is not the person that is on my account right now. Like, that is not me. And they'll be like, okay, we ran through all your info. We understand. We can't do anything about it. Yes, you can. Like, maybe you, but like PlayStation can do something about it because they can immediately lock the account, stop the person from fucking with your account in general, and allow you access back onto your account. But no, they don't. They refuse to do that. They just outright are like, nah, we can't do anything.
Would
You were gonna say something, Doug?
Yeah, was you talking to like an actual person when you were talking to the support when that
Yes,
happened?
I was. I
Yeah,
confirmed
because
it was an actual person.
so a couple months back, someone tried hacking to my Xbox account. So I immediately went to go change everything. And I was like, hey, can I go talk to somebody? Because somebody's trying to hack into my shit. They're like, oh no, we don't allow live people chats when it comes to account matters. You had to talk to one of their AI chat bots. I'm not joking. And I had to deal with the
That's
change my
psychotic.
freaking password and stuff. Like
And
both
these are
of
the
these
people we
companies
want
are
our digital
it.
libraries entrusted to. So yeah, that's immediately just another attribute. And Bob, you referenced this earlier, but I want to bring it up right now. Is the deleting 500 movies? I have this from Push Square somewhere. Again, a lot of tabs. There it is. Sony will permanently delete 550 plus movies you already paid for. If you own a movie on Blu-ray, short of something breaking into your house and running off with it, you own it forever. That's not the case with digital purchases, of course, and the latest story is a timely reminder of why some PS5 fans are so frustrated with Rockstar's decision. If you're in Europe and you bought any of the 550 plus movies distributed by Studio Canal, then you're out of luck. They will be permanently deleted from your account on the 1st of September 2026, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. There'll be no refunds or recompose or recomp whatever. For affected owners, they're gone for good. In a legal notice on its website, the Japanese giant blamed content licensing agreements for the removal. Among the movies being removed are Terminator 2 and Total Recall. And this is all in Sony's EULA, so it is fully legal of them to just go into your account, take the thing that you bought with your money, and say, actually, you don't own the license for this anymore, yoink. So they have full access to all of that. Whereas if I have a Blu-ray copy of Terminator 2, short of Sony walking into my house, breaking in and taking it from me, they can't do shit about it. So I can just watch it whenever I want without any real problems from them. So straight up, that's a whole nother thing.
You know what else this means too? Because this applies to movies, but they can also do this with games. Every now and then we'll get a re-release of an older game, like an updated port or something, and oftentimes we will see that they'll list the original version.
And I wanted to bring this up.
So,
I have it right here.
But the problem is sometimes the new version is worse than the original.
So the original GTA collection, they ported over GTA 3, GTA San Andreas, and GTA Vice City, and they ported them to PS4 around like I want to say 2016, 2015. And those were basically the PS2 versions on PlayStation 4. And then when they did the definitive editions, with nothing being said, they just delisted those original versions. So I own those still digitally, but that's the thing. I don't own them. I still have the license for them. If say the licensing for the songs in those games runs out, Sony can go yoink, take that out of my account, and I can't do anything about it. And they're like, "Oh, buy the definitive edition." That's literally it. Like they actively are not allowing you ownership of anything when you're on a digital thing. If there is a licensed song that just happened to run out of time, like say they took a 10-year agreement, that 10 years is up, instead of, renewing that contract, they'd much rather just say, you know what, actually you don't own it at all anymore. We're done with that. So that's great. And that's why a lot of things have been switching over to vinyl and Blu-ray, and vinyl and Blu-ray has taken off a lot for a boutique collector's market. Here's the thing. This can't exist on PlayStation. You could say, oh, well, PlayStation is ending the production, but someone else can do it. No, no one else can do it. They own the rights. They
Yeah,
have the
about this yesterday.
ability to make the discs. They fully own all the rights there. You can't make discs of your own. You can't make PS5 discs because they're gonna sue you because they're like, oh, that's ours. So limited run is screwed. PlayAsia is screwed. Anyone who who wants to like print physical PS5 discs for digital games cannot do that because Sony owns the rights to be able to do that. So that's immediately taken off, and you're offered with nothing. it's fucking batshit insane. I also want to talk about is like there were 70 million PS5 games sold physically last year, which is a decrease. That is lower than usual. That's 70 million copies of games, 70 million sales, brand new games being sold that you are saying fuck you to. I don't understand this at all. I just don't. And as you mentioned, Bob, they're shutting down the PlayStation 3 store at the same time. So this whole thing about, hey, you will own nothing and you will like it. Oh, those PS3 games? Yeah, we're done with that storefront now, actually. So fuck you. And I have my own opinions on that specifically. I don't want to get into it now, but it's just a perfect exemplification of Sony's bastardization of this art form.
The only wishful thinking I can see from any of this, and this is very wishful thinking, is if they start adapting what GOG does.
No
now,
shot.
Do I think this will happen? Absolutely not. But this is the only saving grace I see in this whole scenario, is if they start adapting this.
This is the same company that did like the what was it, the DHCP bullshit on PS4 with the HDMI.
Yeah, it was on PS3 where or are you talking about with like HDMI splitters that they couldn't work?
Well, yeah, just like their like weird copyright thing with the HDMI.
I don't know exactly.
Like, because you couldn't use like capture cards or something. There had to be like a workaround behind it.
That was PS3. So you can't use capture cards directly on the PlayStation 3 because it will actively just like not work on PS3 games. So you have to run it through a splitter first and then run it to the PS3.
Right. So yeah, I mean, this company does not give a shit about like ownership or doing the right thing. Real quick, I just want to go back to the point you were saying, Wolf. It just increasingly sounds like when you say like, who is this decision for? How does this make any sense? It's clearly some losers in a fucking Excel spreadsheet going, okay, number go up, but how does number go up bigger? And they never seem to account for how the move they're about to make is going to lose them money. It's only like, well, clearly number is this, so therefore if we do this, number will go up more and everything else will stay the exact same. Like, no, you fucking idiots. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you're going to get people who are not going to interact with your ecosystem. Also, you can save a couple of bucks, and that's just like, that's not realistic.
Yeah, 100%. It's just an exemplification of they don't give a fuck. They clearly are just thinking very short-sightedly, very short, without any real thinking of the future. I'm going to tell you right now, who's going to buy the PS6 day one? Your hardcore consumers. Who would be the most pissed off about physical games going away? Your hardcore consumers. What? No! I thought people were going to buy the PS6. Not anymore. I'm out. I'm a hardcore PlayStation fan. I bought all the PlayStation consoles. I care deeply about this ecosystem. Oh, you're taking away my physical games? Okay, fuck you. And Bob, I never thought the thing that would transition me to PC gaming is this. But also,
yeah, me neither, honestly.
This is the one thing that would transition me. Because you guys know, I hate PC gaming. I can't fucking stand it. I hate the fucking bits and bobs and Linux and the stupid ass Penguin mascot. You gotta recompile shaders. I hate that shit so much. I'll deal with it because I want to talk about PC gaming and why it is now the superior place to play. I am gonna tell you because I keep hearing, Bob, you know my favorite thing. Oh well, PC's all digital. It's been all digital for years. Isn't that good? Let's talk about that. PC is not just Steam. It is an open platform. There's Steam, there's GOG, there's Epic Game Store. There's constant competition within all these different markets. Yes, Steam holds the majority of that market. I am not sitting here and saying they aren't by far the dominant force. But because there are other markets within the PC ecosystem, you have people to worry about. If you download a game off of Steam, I have way more faith that Valve would take care of my digital library than anyone else. I'll just say that straight up. You mentioned GOG earlier. GOG straight up is a great platform if you want DRM free games, because if you buy the game off GOG, they give you an installer and let you play the game off of your PC, no internet connection required. So that's immediately something awesome. So you have GOG, and yeah, it doesn't have the biggest library, but it's constantly growing and it is constantly getting better and better, even to the point of having like wish lists of like, hey, if you want these games, like shout us out, we will help you out there.
Yes,
And games get cracked all the time.
Something else that, yeah, sorry for cutting you off, but something else GOG does in terms of just keeping games alive. Recently, well, I say recently, this was like a year or two back, but they got the first 3 original Resident Evil titles, which if you know, you can't really play these anywhere. These are very hard titles to play, the very first 3, and they're fully like almost remastered for PC with modern controls and everything. It is through GOG, and it's a yep.
You can download it. You don't have to worry about DRM or like having to have a GOG subscription or any bullshit like that. It's yours. Whereas on PlayStation, you can't play Resident Evil 3, and I think 2 as well, like the original versions of those games, but you have to buy them, and you don't trust Sony with that bullshit at all. So that's great.
And you were going to mention it, Wolf, but it is a good point to bring up.
You would know better than me, so it's actually best for me to talk about this part.
Right. Like, I mean, obviously, yes, piracy is bad. You should support the developers directly. It kind of...
There's no other option.
Right, but if you want to actually own your games, Steam and Sony and whoever cannot physically, unless they're at gunpoint, and make you go open up your PC and click the delete button. They are not going to get rid of the games that you pirate on your PC. Like, that is complete digital ownership that cannot be taken away.
These games get cracked immediately too. Like
buying is an owning. Then piracy easily.
Listen, Dirk, I make fun of you all the time for being broke as hell, and you still are broke as hell. But like, bro, keep pirating. Do your thing.
This is my thing, bro.
Especially with fucking Sony acting like this, is like I don't trust any of these damn game companies anymore with my digital library, which is why I buy physically.
And that's the funny thing too, Wolf. I know, I think it was Colin who had mentioned, like, yeah, one of the reasons I think they're doing this is because of Star Wars 1 Episode Racer for the PS4 being some sort of back end to be able to jailbreak PS5s.
No reason. Yeah.
Well, no, but that's also the reason why everyone should go out and buy that game, because then you can jailbreak your PS5 and actually be able to take a little bit of charge
you can own
of
your games.
Library. Yeah.
But another thing, like, how many people were really doing it that's an issue?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
100%, dude.
This is
Yeah.
such a tiny minority of a
Actually
minority.
doing
So you're gonna screw over 20% of your buyers because oh man, they're pirating. Like
Again,
shut up.
like that's the thing.
0.8%
They
players.
see the number go down because of piracy, and then they're like, oh well, if we change this, then that number goes up. Did you forget about the number that was already up that's going to go down now? I think you did.
Gabe Newell once said, like a long time ago, and this will always be one of the greatest quotes of all time. Piracy is not an issue if you have a good service. It is a service issue. Tell me, Bob, Steam, as you say, PC is so easy to crack. You could just go on the web, like right now, and like let me download 007 right now without any problems whatsoever. But people still buy it on Steam because Steam is an amazing platform. Steam is a strong platform that people trust, and they're willing to buy games on it because Valve has proven themselves over 20 years. This is the place to buy games on PC. So the vast majority of PC players still play games on Steam and Epic Game Store and GOG because maybe not Epic Game Store, but GOG and Steam, they have proven themselves to be reliable platforms that, let's say there's a whole fucking EMP or like they decide, PlayStation's like, we're done. Xbox is like, we're done. Steam's like, we're not done. We'll still keep your games. And like there is much more digital ownership on that platform comparatively to the other ones tenfold. And like again, it is still digital ownership, but as you say, you can crack these games. They're very easy to pirate. Let's just be real.
And
I'm not advocating for piracy. I am advocating for take ownership of your things. If you truly are worried, take that ownership. And God knows PlayStation does not give a fuck about you.
But I think that's the thing too, Wolf, is that even though it is so much easier, like PC is easily the easiest place to pirate a game. Yeah. It's not like PC sales really get affected by that. It's still a small amount of people, for whatever reason under the sun. But the majority of people still buy and support games on PC, or else Steam wouldn't exist if it didn't.
100%. And yeah, man, it's a clear. It's what I said, man. I'm just like, I'm done with PlayStation. I'm gonna be saving up that time not for a PS6 but for a PC, which that's gonna be expensive. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not buying a Steam machine. If I'm gonna buy a PC, I'm not gonna spend $1,000 for that. I'll spend more.
I got a story for you.
Here's the thing, though, Bob, is I like physical games enough to where I'm probably just gonna buy substantially fewer games in general, even on a PC. Where here's the thing. Let me pull up the game release calendar. I want to point something out. I am probably, let's say this went into effect today. Physical games are gone. Just straight up. And let's just say, like, hypothetically, I have like a super powered PC. If I were to really think about it, on PlayStation 5 alone, I'm not considering Switch because Switch still has physical. The only game I would buy digitally, probably Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. Because you can only buy that game digitally?
Well, right, but he actually wants to buy that game.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, let's say, in this universe, like, it would have released physically.
Okay.
But, like, they said, okay, all physical games are gone. The only game I would buy was probably Grand Theft Auto 6 and Castlevania. But even that, Castlevania is probably going to be like 30, so I wouldn't care as much.
And it's going to be physical on Nintendo.
Yeah, that's it. There it is. I would just buy it on Switch then. And that is a just perfect exemplification. Phantom Blade Zero, a game I have been hyping up for a long time. I've been so excited for that game. Oh, there's no physical version? I don't care. And like I might buy it on PC later on a sale. I'm not buying it at full price.
Right.
Because I want that physical copy. That adds a lot to the experience for me. Wolverine, I'll skip out on happily. I don't care. Onimusha, I'd skip out on. I was already going to skip out on Trails in the Sky second chapter. Sorry, Dark. I'd skip out on Control Resident. I'd skip out on a lot of these games that I am excited for. Genuinely, I am really excited for so many of these games. But if I have no physical option, I am substantially less happy with spending the $60, $70. And I'll probably buy it on sale for $40 to $30 max. That perfectly illustrates. Or I'll buy it on Switch. I'll buy the gimped version on Switch for Onimusha. I don't care, because at least then I can own it.
And it's running. I mean, Switch 2 is getting better, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Pragmata,
understanding it way better.
Yeah, the Pragmata performance was like, honestly, for most people, I think it'll be enough. Wolf,
It's just why
you
why
gonna?
would you buy a PlayStation anymore? That's how I feel. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, what about what you guys were talking about last night with like that new update with the UI on PlayStation?
Okay, so there was an update to yesterday around the morning where specifically our physical games were not showing up in the recently played section. So hang on, I have a perfect example. So if I go to my profile on PlayStation, which I have open right now, I just played GTA 5. I was just playing it this morning, and it's not showing up on my games list. The only games on my games list are Overwatch, Mina the Hollower, Super Meat Boy, Vampire Crawlers, digital games. My physical games are not showing up on here. Now, Sony has said that this is a glitch, but also this is really funny timing. Let's just be honest with
Yeah.
ourselves here. And it tells me it's like I made the joke, it's like they're trying to mind control us into thinking we never own these games physically.
Well, and it's
They
funny
fuck up
too
my
because
playtime too, by the way. So that's fun.
it goes back to what you were saying about the other like weird DRM thing. They said it's a glitch and that it isn't working as expected.
exactly.
Like, weird that you guys keep having these fucking glitches. Like, I've never heard of Xbox rolling out a really weird update that really fucks with, either digital ownership or physical ownership, and then being like, "Oh, whoopsies, guys, that was a mistake.
Darn.
We'll fix it." Like, that just is so like it cannot be a coincidence.
So with the specific thing about the DRM thing, apparently it was to combat people that were like, I forget what the process was. It would like they would buy the game, but they put their console offline, so and then download it offline, and then play through it, and then go back online and then refund the game.
Right.
Basically playing the game for free, and they were trying to combat that. That was such a minority of an issue. I literally never heard of that until they started doing that. And I'm like, dude,
Seriously.
why do you guys care? What is this? And as you said, the Excel spreadsheet, we lost 0.1% of sales. No, let's do DRM. Like, fuck you, Sony, man. You guys are so dog shit at this. Just, I think that's pretty much everything, though. Without getting into the PS3 of it all. Oh, I did want to bring up one final thing. Game key cards. Me and Jack have talked extensively about game key cards and why we dislike them. Here's the thing. They still fucking suck. I saw a lot of Nintendo fans going like, and now you come crawling back to the game key cards. No, I'm not. I'm still mad at them for that bullshit too. Yeah. But I will give game key cards this. You can trade them around. You can hand them to your friend. It is your copy of the game that you technically own. You just still have to download it. It's a key. It's literally a key. If the server shut down for Switch 2, then you will not be able to play that game anymore. So just like, it's still a shitty alternative, but it's an alternative that Sony definitely could have, tried out. It would have sucked still. I still would not have liked it. I still probably would have been off of PlayStation, but they didn't even attempt anything like that. They're just done. And it's like, I don't even know anymore, man. It's frustrating. I don't know if you guys have anything more you want to say. I rambled and yapped and cried and whined. Clearly, this is something I'm very passionate about. Just goes to show I'm done supporting PlayStation by 2028. I'm not gonna sit here and listen. I'm not a strong individual. I'm buying GTA 6. I'm just gonna be real. Like, I am not a strong person like Jack is when it comes to this stuff. He's better than me. I can't. There are certain games where I will bite the bullet, but even then, by 2028, I'm gonna be completely done with PlayStation, and I will buy those type of games on Steam, a platform I can actually trust. And, we were talking about this dark last night where I'm like, I need 2027 to be the best year of gaming ever because that's the last year of physical.
All the big ones dropping in, and that's it.
Give me Persona 6. That's all I ask for. Give me a Persona 6 on disc. Give me a Spyro on disc. Now I'll be happy.
I think you might be pretty happy then if that's what you want.
No, dude, it's going to get delayed. I have to kill you. I promised I'd kill you if Persona 6 doesn't come out next year.
I think you just want to kill me, bro.
No.
Hey,
I'd kill Bob before you.
I was gonna say, Wolf, if Xbox pulls out of Toys for Bob and Spyro doesn't come out, you have permission to kill me.
Oh, I'm killing you 1000%.
Yeah.
That's good. Oof, man. We'll talk about Xbox in a minute.
And
Oof.
you should. So what you should do is, on your way to killing me, you should contact Sony and be like, "Hey guys, I can burn all of his discs if you want me to. Like, I'm gonna be at his house. Like, pay me some side money. Like, I will do that for you."
But then he'd be working for the enemy.
Yeah, but
I
you
get-
know, money's money.
That's true.
I'll do shit for money. I gave about a 1 point higher review score because of money. So, yeah. So yeah. Any last thoughts on this whole thing, guys?
I mean, my only like thought for the future, it really continues to be just what on earth is their plan for the PS6, and it just continues to seem like they're just going to be chasing the money and hope that people will just continue their buying habits when that could not be further from the truth. And what's going to happen from that? Like, are we going to get more games that all of a sudden become cross-gen out of nowhere? Are we going to get more are they going to go back to PC to be like, "Oh, please buy our games"? Like, I
They're gonna
can't
be in
see.
for an avalanche, man. They're
Yeah.
not. I think they do go back to PC. They're gonna realize it's like
Oh,
nobody's buying a
100%.
PS6.
And I've said that from the entire time. I'm like, there's no way they are so worried about money that they would pull out of an ecosystem that was making them money just for, I get it, the exclusive sells games, but like, you have to buy the console first to buy the exclusives, and it sounds like no one wants to do that at the moment.
I think you're gonna have a very long cross-gen period for PS5 and PS6, like even longer than the PS4,
Well,
PS5 one, to the point of like maybe 5 years. Then we'll actually start getting PS6 like true exclusives.
I really don't know when the cross-gen period would end, because there's nothing like
It's
I've
not
been
like this
saying
one
this.
did.
Right, the Switch 2 is weaker than the PS5 and the Series X. Like, devs have no reason to stop the support,
They're
because
more scalable than ever.
100%. I don't see how you can survive on exclusives.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Somehow, Kojima predicted all this. Again, this guy's good at predicting the future when it comes to
Yeah, I
technology and
saw
how
that
it's going to be
tweet.
used.
I saw that tweet. It's hilarious. That's their fucking goat, man. Yeah, man. I just aggravating. I want to also talk about an update on the PlayStation Store for PS3 and PS Vita. Changes start this year in select markets, followed by global changes. After nearly 2 decades of supporting the PS3 console generation, we want to let you know we will be closing the PlayStation Store on PS3 as well as on PS Vita. PlayStation Store on PS3 will close in select markets starting this year, followed by global closures for PS3 and PS Vita next year. That means new content purchases will no longer be possible once the PlayStation Store closes on these devices. To ease the transition, players will still be able to download previously purchased content after the closing date for the foreseeable future. As the PlayStation Store continues to evolve to support modern commerce systems, including updated payment method processing standards, PS3 and Vita are no longer able to support these updates at the level required. As a result, we will still need to close the PlayStation Store on these devices in the timeframes as follows. Mexico, Honduras, Nicaragua will close August 2026. Latin American and Middle Eastern countries late 2026, and then all other countries in July 2027. I'll say for myself, I thought these stores actually lasted longer than I expected, but there's a major difference. So Xbox shut down their store, I want to say 2023 for the 360.
Yep.
The Wii shut down in like 2020. Nintendo, it was just like we're done. So that was crazy. The major difference with the Xbox 360 specifically, that's the one I want to point out. Most of those games are back compat. Most of those games are preserved. You're able to play them on modern Xboxes. You're able to play them on PC. All that.
You can also
There were
buy
games that were
them like digitally on the
straight up.
Xbox Store.
Yeah, and you're fully able to like access a lot of those games, even despite the actual Xbox 360 marketplace closing. There were still some games lost to time, but it was a vast minority compared to what we're going to lose with the PS3 and Vita. In the time they tried to cancel the store or close the store in like 2021, and there was massive fan feedback and massive fan revolt to the point that they delayed it for 5 years. By the way, very long time period. So for 5 years later, they decided to close, not do it. In that time, there was zero effort to remaster, bring back, emulate any of the PS3 and Vita games. very, very few games, like Metal Gear Solid 4, we're going to get back finally. And then that's it. I literally cannot think of anything else. They did not even attempt to try to bring back a lot of these games and help the PS3 and Vita games live on and preserve because they don't give a fuck about preservation. So a lot of those digital only games will truly be lost to time completely, except for something like RCPS3, which is why you should pirate and say fuck you, Sony. I'm making a shopping list of the stuff I want to buy. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm surprised by this news. I'm surprised it lasted so long. I'm just frustrated that they didn't even attempt to preserve these games in any way. We still have no PS3 emulation on the PS5. Still. Which is fucking psychotic to me.
You know, Wolf, the cell processor is just a really, really,
It's
really
so
hard
hard.
thing.
You made the
Meh.
console.
I know. It's like Ubisoft being like, we can't remake our games. You made the game. What do you mean?
Exactly. God, it's just. And also, I need to point out there's a lot of like PS1 classics, like really rare PS1 games that cost like hundreds to $200 if you buy the actual like PS1 copy, that you're able to buy for like $7 on PS3. And they didn't even try to port those games at all. So yeah, man, you're either you have to pay the $8 for those games, like you have to pay for them now, or you're gonna have to pay $200 for Mega Man Legends 2. So shout outs, Sony. Great job.
Well, and I think the other thing too is, obviously this change tried to happen in 2021, and then fan feedback reversed it, and they held on for another few years. But it's very obvious that they bundled this in with the disc news because everyone's going to be outraged over the disc news that no one's really talking about the closure of the store. And so you do this intentionally to get heat off of the other move you were trying to do that people push back on, which is double scummy.
Just scummy all across the board. Scumbag company, garbage. Man. And again, dude, I really did. I love PlayStation. I'm not going to sit here and like belabor the point. It's like, yeah, of course it's a corporation. They don't care about your feelings. I know that. I'm not fucking stupid. But the brand meant a lot to me. And it's clear they're just spitting in my fucking face and not even trying anything. Anything. There's nothing of like, oh, well, we're offering this loyalty program. We're doing this. Bob, you know what it reminds me of? It's when Xbox raised the Game Pass prices to $30 back in October last year. But they were like, we're adding Fortnite Club, though. They had something. This is just bad news. It's like, all right, fuck y'all. Like, what, you get nothing in return? You're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, it's unfortunately a painful reminder that no matter how many positive memories we have with these corporations, they don't give a shit and they just care about taking your money.
Yeah, man.
That's a tough reality.
Fuck these guys. Well, PlayStation, fuck you. Let's move to Xbox. Positive news, I hope.
I got the
Bob, get off.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So we have a lot more updates on the layoffs. Wario 64 brings this up. From The Verge, Microsoft currently weighing closing at least 5 studios, including Arcane Studio for Blade, and exploring options to sell Arcane Studio. Xbox layoffs reportedly starting July 6th, which is next Monday. The layoffs will lead to studio closures or spin-offs, potential mergers of studios, and canceled games. I also have from Andy Robinson, State of Decay 3's Undead Lab named as another Xbox studio facing closure. The studio said to have entered negotiations to go independent in an attempt to avoid being closed. Sources said, now a 4th studio at risk being named by GamesBeat as State of Decay 3 developer Undead Labs. According to the publication, the Seattle-based studio is also searching for a buyer with around 110 jobs at stake if it fails to do so. Other divisions such as Blizzard, Bethesda, and others are expected to be hit with percentage layoffs, according to GamesBeat. This is likely the single biggest cut series for Xbox, according to its sources. We also have Xbox pulling out of publishing partnerships. More has this. Bloomberg confirms Xbox was funding Project Fantasy, IO's game. Xbox is taking a fresh look at where we invest, so we're focusing on higher priorities. We are not reducing our overall investment in games. We expect to invest about the same in content as we did last year. What's changing is where we're investing and the kinds of projects we're backing. And IO had a big statement basically saying that they had to lay off a lot of their developers that are working on Project Fantasy, but they're still trying to get the game going. It's still in development. It just needs a publishing partner again, and they're looking for one at the moment. We also have Stephen Totillo from my last game file, 1666 Amsterdam, the new game led by the creator of Assassin's Creed, was going to be Xbox published before Microsoft cut funding. In recent years, Xbox was backing games from him, the Romeros, and Kojima. Not every game pans out, but quite a set of partners. And then there was stuff about Obsidian. Basically, Christopher Dring reported that they were going to be shut down. And then Warrior 64 puts out from Jason Schreier. Despite a report this morning, I confirmed that Obsidian is not in negotiations to avoid shutting down. Plenty of details are still up in the air surrounding the layoffs. Picture will be clear on Monday, but Xbox is keeping Obsidian, according to people familiar with the situation. And specifically, I think also just this morning, Jeff Grubb was saying that there was a point where they were in negotiations, but it like kind of panned out immediately, and they're fine. Lots of info, lots of places to get into. I kind of wanted to get it out all right now. And also Jordan Midler, I wanted to point out, he said that Obsidian is working on a Fallout game. We'll see if that ever fucking comes out nowadays. I just don't trust anything. Bob, I know you got a lot to say. I'm not very happy with Microsoft right now, but I yapped a lot about PlayStation. Now you got to talk about your goat.
That's a strong word that I would not be using at this moment.
Your demon.
Yeah. First off, I just want to start off with because you didn't say it. Fuck Christopher Dring. That guy is a joke, and I do not understand how he gets funding and how people like consistently listen to him be wrong about things. I think he's a good actual when concrete evidence comes out, he can maybe give a good take. But if there is any speculation or any rumors, do not listen to this man.
When I remember when Jordan Midler talked about the Infamous, hearing Sony doing stuff with Infamous, he was like, well, I didn't write about it because I only had one source. Christopher Dring, the type of motherfucker to go oh, one source, okay, write it down. That's just the type of person he is, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not
also,
a big fan of him either.
I'm not going to subscribe to this theory, but some of the Tim dogs out there do. He did make a LinkedIn post 3 months ago talking about thanking the people that sponsor the business because they basically run once he left gamesindustry.biz and started the game industry, or the game business, which okay, with in conjunction with Jeff Keighley, they've kind of had to use small funding partners. One of them is just straight up Sony. So make that connection how you will, but it's kind of crazy that this news drops and then he's like, oh, by the way, Obsidian's closing or Xbox is going to shut down Obsidian. Oh, JK, I'm wrong. All right.
This was the same day as the Sony news, right?
It was the day after, I think.
Oh no. Okay.
But either way, just I don't like that guy, and I don't think he should be a reliable source. Anyway, going into the actual news. Yeah, I think when we were talking about the studios that could close, unfortunately, I think everyone kind of rightfully so pinpointed the small studios like a Double Fine, like a Compulsion,
it's easy to guess.
Yeah, right, because those are the types of studios that do not fit into Xbox's resetted portfolio. They are just not interested in small games, they're not interested in small projects, they're not interested in really small teams like that, and they don't want to kind of shepherd them into growing and into becoming a stronger studio. They just clearly that wasn't even the plan with Phil, because he let Hellblade make the exact same game 8 years later, and it's okay, dude, sure. But I think what people keep saying, and I'm going to reiterate this as well, is that these layoffs are going to be so much worse than all of the other ones. And what that means is you can no longer cut just the small studios, because that unfortunately is not enough people to make the shareholders happy at this point. And so now we're getting into the Arcanes, the Obsidians, like, and I think even you didn't mention this, but like even Halo Studios has been mentioned as like yeah, we might have to do some restructuring there. And so you get to this point where it's like, okay, from all accounts, it seems like Blade should have been shown this year, still has a chance to be shown this year, with a potential release next year. And like Arcane is a very like you know, has a lot of pedigree as a studio with AAA games. I mean, as much crap as we gave Deathloop, it reviewed high and sold really well.
Whoa, crap! I love that game.
Nah, I think some people were burnt out by the marketing, but
yeah, no, that's fair.
and it wasn't necessarily.
I love that game, but like it's not a 10.
But it also wasn't like it wasn't the like people were used to the. Why can't I think of the name? What's the game Fusion loves? Stealth game. Yeah, Dishonored. It wasn't like a true Dishonored. Like we got into the multiplayer. Kind of like it delved into a couple different genres. That's like, okay, this is kind of not what you made for. But anyway, point is, they're a great studio. They make great games. Blade is a licensed IP game that people will want to play. Like I don't understand. Like you see it with Wolverine, you see it with Spider-Man. Like people love Marvel still to this day. People pop for Blade when he shows up in cameos in movies, or even Tokon, for example. Yeah. Exactly. Like he is a character. Like, and it's such a cool world. There's so many cool things you could do with a video game for Blade. And to potentially cut this studio or sell them or do anything when they are so close to the finish line, yet somehow Clockwork hasn't even, like, they're both in similar release windows, and yet somehow Clockwork is completely fine, but Arcane's being talked about as like shutting down. That just makes no sense to me. And obviously the reports are wrong, but the fact that Obsidian was even considered when they have released 6 games in Insanity. 8 years, like they are your money driver right now. Like they
are the only ones making games.
Exactly. They are, like, put them on Fallout and they will give you a Fallout every time that a new season drops on Amazon Prime. Like they will be able to do that. So it just continues to kind of tell me that it's like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters except for the bottom line of the shareholders.
I think what really happened behind the scenes with all this, but like, especially with like all the rumors and just the different things we're hearing, I'm pretty sure every single studio that they have was getting looked at, and we're just hearing from different people which studios they heard at the time. Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, really,
personally, I think Blade is too far in development to cancel. I feel like that's just a stupid idea.
That doesn't stop them. It's supposed to release next year, but like,
I don't think this is wish. I don't think Blade's getting canceled. I don't see it happening. I feel like it's like similar to an Obsidian situation, but I just feel like everything that we're hearing is from different people at different points in time, from the billion different conversations happening back to back.
I think the other thing with Blade 2 that I just can't imagine them canceling is, I would imagine Marvel would be like, what? Give us more money. You canceled the game. Like,
yeah,
I feel like that licensing, right, that licensing deal, you can't just, like, why would you eat that cost and not even attempt to, try and recoup it if we are this far along? But yeah, and I think to that point, Dark, I think there is a good chance that any studio with multiple teams are going to get a team cut. Like I think, like I think Halo has multiple teams. They're going to consolidate. Obsidian's probably going to consolidate. Bethesda proper might even consolidate. I just think Coalition could consolidate. I think all of that is on the table because no one is going to be safe from the fact that like someone's going to get laid off. I just think like full studio closures for some of these larger ones just absolutely makes zero sense.
Keep in mind, we're hearing all of these different games and shit. And then there's Fallout 76, which has not even been mentioned once, and it's still going.
Yeah, because and that's the shitty part is that ESO and 76, like
Well,
the
ESO
dev,
definitely delivers. Although I'm still unsure on if 76 delivers and how it keeps going.
it has to. Like
I-
the fact that it hasn't been talked
76
about at all, it has to.
76, not 70, ESO, I know for a fact delivers. And it does have a good, healthy fan base. But 76, that seemed like the easy cut to trim. I don't know.
I mean, it's the same with Rare and Sea of Thieves. Like we haven't like Rare's was kind of talked about in the beginning, but like Sea of Thieves is one of the best-selling games on PlayStation and PC, along with Xbox, and they're just like, I mean, I'm sure that team's going to shrink even smaller, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be talked about because those just continue to print money. It's like we can't. I think Grub mentioned this in relation to PlayStation talking about the live service initiative. It's like it's hard to get off of your heroin addiction. Like you just want to keep like indulging in the heroin. And I think they're like, yeah, people hate when 76 comes on during our showcase. Yet there are still enough people out there to justify its existence. But yeah, and then to kind of comment on the third party stuff.
Yeah.
Personally, I didn't think 1666 Amsterdam looked that great, but I think there's
them
like
pulling out is shitty, but it's also like I'm not gonna like go crazy for that. I think Project Fantasy is the bigger deal here.
correct. Like I think there is a level of like publishers should still pull funding from games they don't believe in. And I think that's a separate conversation.
I just wish it wasn't
from,
so late. That's always my
sure,
thing.
and that is totally fair.
For sure.
But yes, Project Fantasy, that one, that one definitely hurts because then it's
They
like,
just
oh,
released
cool.
a Game of the Year contender.
Well, that and it's like, cool. So you're laying off people at studios you don't own because you keep making shitty decisions. Wow, bravo! You are transcending the layoff fucking multiverse.
They're really good at this. I gotta shout him out.
I also want to say too, if Blade somehow gets cancelled, Blade is without a doubt the most cursed fucking IP. No,
It's still, it already is, man. I'm scared for Marvel Tokon.
not even Marvel knows how to handle him properly. Unless he's added into a different project that's not Blade specific, it's cursed to fail.
Yeah. I think though too with some of this third party stuff, you guys had I think talked about it last week. The freeze on some people were reporting there's been a freeze on third part or Game Pass deals.
Yeah, Game Pass specifically.
And I think a lot of people are looking at it like, oh, this is them backing out completely out of Game Pass. They're slowly gonna sunset it. And personally, I just don't think that is what they're doing. Apparently, there have been counter reports, none of it by official people. I think all of this is kind of hearsay. So believe I guess what you want to believe. But there have been other reports that this isn't the first time Xbox has frozen funding for Game Pass, and it's no indication that they can unfreeze it after all of these layoffs and after we get into the new fiscal year, and they can maybe get more deals. But to me, it just like I think Game Pass still has to be reworked. I just don't see them just like freezing out completely. That doesn't make any sense to me because at the very least you need some third party support.
Crazier things have happened. I don't know
No,
anymore.
yeah, well, and I do think that Game Pass will be reworked in some way. Like I am still very adamant that that's going to happen. And also, I didn't post this in news, and really it's it's a Reddit post, so take it what you will. But there's a guy on the Xbox subreddit who consistently will post at the start of each month, hey, I run the analytics of when games will leave Game Pass. And for a long time, they have been 12 to 18 month contracts. And now we are seeing games less than 6 months leave the platform. One even left after 2 weeks. I don't know what game it was. I don't think he referenced it, but Game Pass itself, and like games are starting to leave the essential tier, which haven't happened yet. And I don't know if he didn't clarify if games were replacing that or just they're just straight up removing games. But that's the first time that's happening. So yeah, it just continues to kind of tread in the sense of like there's going to be this great reset. Xbox does not give a shit about the games these teams want to make, funding future projects. They just want to be an IP machine and just be like, all right, Halo, Gears, Forza, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. Like that's clearly where we're going. And maybe they'll make some third party deals on the side, but yeah, it really just does not give me a lot of confidence, because it's like, if this doesn't work, what's next? Like you just we're now we're back at square one again, and I feel like at that point, Satya is only going to go along with this for so long, and then major things are going to have to happen. And if this is what has to be done, sure, I just don't think it is, and I don't think it's at the cost of all of these people.
Next Monday, we will know. Did you already talk about Undead Labs? Anything more to say?
I mean, that one really sucks, because Undead has been a partner with Xbox since the first State of Decay. Like, they were on the Xbox Live Arcade. They've been working hand in hand with Xbox from the beginning. And then obviously they got acquired, and Xbox supported State of Decay 2 for so long, arguably too long, because they didn't start on State of Decay 3. But again, it's another Hellblade situation where it's like, so you announced an alpha and the initial
you showed the game.
re-release of the game, or re-reveal of the game, and you're cutting them. And like State of Decay is a multiplayer game, so like that even fits less of the they like these multiplayer games that can sustain themselves for long periods of time. It just doesn't make any sense.
It feels like that Xbox Game Showcase was an auction. Like, hey, who wants these studios? Because we don't want them. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'll be honest, the physical thing made me so sad that when I read all the Xbox news the next day, I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
it's so like jaded. I don't.
It's hard not to be defeatist about it, because it does just feel like I think someone at Giant Bomb said this, but it was like, we are very much like full steam ahead going to a crash, and it's like, how bad is it really going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be. There's going to be a major AAA video game crash, and I think what comes from that is the AAAs will make the Fortnites, the CODs, like 6 games, and if you want really cool, interesting games, you're going to look towards indies. So I don't know. I don't even know if AA companies are able to survive out of this upcoming crash, which is just fun to think about. We will see. Xbox layoffs on Monday. One company we haven't talked about in the news is Nintendo. I forgot to put this under reviews of the week. Rhythm Heaven got reviews.
Yo,
it got an 83 on OpenCritic. A lot of people are like, "Yeah, this is a great game." Most of it is there probably should have been more content, which I could definitely see. I'm excited to play that later on sale, because I think for $50 for the physical, I'm like, I can wait. That's the type of Nintendo. A lot of people say like all Nintendo games don't go on sale. Some of their games do, and Rhythm Heaven's one of those. It's probably going to be like $20 next year, if even. So I'll wait for that. I'm excited though. The demo I really enjoyed though.
The demo was good.
There's a lot of good rhythm games.
Did you see Tim Geddes gave it a 4?
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it just like it wasn't. I don't think
my favorite part. It was when they were like, he's like, "Oh, it's so weird." It's like, yeah, that's the point, Tim. It's very weird. It's like when people complain about Earthbound, like, "Oh, Earthbound's so weird." It's like, yeah, that's the point.
Right. Yeah, I think
you guys would not survive a Ren and Stimpy episode. That's all I'll say.
I think with Rhythm Heaven, we've already kind of talked about it, but if you're not adding anything other than the rhythm element, it's really hard to make a case for anything over $30, in my opinion. Yeah. I think, they're great mini games.
Really fun.
Yeah, they look like really fleshed out stuff. But at the end of the day, it's like and this feels bad to
it's
say, but there is a ceiling for this kind of stuff.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I'm excited to check it out though. Honestly, this is a good if you're Jat, great library rental.
Yeah,
So
honestly.
there he is. Let's talk about what we've been playing, guys. Get me happy, make me happy. I've been playing GTA 5 a lot because GTA 6 coming up. This is the 1 month of like no real game releases that I'm like excited for. Splatoon Raider looks awesome, but I haven't played a Splatoon game, so I would just be a fucking tourist, which they have a difficulty for. So maybe I should check it out. But yeah, so outside of that, I'm just like, yeah, July is probably the last free month before like all the games start releasing come August. So I wanted to check this month out to go back to GTA 5 in a big way, and I'm going for the platinum. Bob, I almost have all the online trophies. Only one I'm
Godspeed,
missing is
dude.
the only one I'm missing is the level 100. Guess what level I am?
96?
99.
Ah,
Literally,
nice.
I reached 99 this morning. So after this, I'm gonna play a little bit more and finally hit level 100, and I can finally play the single player again and replay the like campaign that I love. I was talking to Fusion about it. He hit level 200 and he played for like 4 years. So that was very funny to He's like, oh man, I really just did not play online for GTA that much. I mostly played it online 2019 with my friends, and we just ran the Doomsday Heist a bunch for money. So yeah, GTA 5 still an immaculate game. I love playing that game. It's so much fun.
I wonder
Bob,
what
you playing any?
my
Oh,
I wonder what my level is. I'm gonna have to boot up GTA
oh yeah. Let me know after. I
and
want to
see
hear.
what my level is, because I mean I played a shit ton of that game, man.
Oh yeah, I
Like
imagine.
I have so many hours in it. Um, so yeah, what I've been playing mostly this week. I had a plan, and then of course plans got railroaded. I'm still working through Vice City. That's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
I have been playing a good amount of Uncharted 2.
Oh hell yeah!
And as we talked about, Wolf, I just did the train scene. Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
I'm farther than the train scene. I just got back to the village after
Oh
going
yeah. That whole
through.
sequence is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm starting to understand that like Uncharted really is like modern day Indiana Jones, because I'm like,
Yeah, pretty much.
so there's Nazis, and but you guys are adding like way more like um unnatural elements to it, and that's interesting. um but yeah,
It's very funny. It was just like, oh, there were Nazis were here too. It's like, where weren't they?
honestly, yeah, it's so funny because like they weren't in the beginning of the game at all, and then I picked up an MP40. I'm like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me! Like they're
I
back.
love I love alternate histories where it's just like, yeah, the Nazis were in South America. It's like, why? Like
Yeah.
far away from Europe. It's like they were unearthing an ancient artifact. It's like, okay. I love that shit.
God, that reminds me. I need to play Wolfenstein too. I
Brother,
never, I
brother.
Wolfenstein is
never
so
went
good.
back and played it.
That
I
game
should,
is
I
phenomenal.
should do that for the 4th of July. Anyway, I have been enjoying Uncharted 2 a lot. I think the new characters and kind of the also it was fun to see Elena when I was like, oh, it seems like they're just hard pivoting to Chloe. Okay, and then Elena
Hell
comes back.
no.
I'm like, oh, this is
I was
so good.
Dude, I was so happy when I played that game, saw Elena. I'm like, oh my girl. I'll
hmm
always be Elena over Chloe, man. She's
Oh,
my girl.
100%. 100%.
Chloe's
Chloe is definitely always the side piece. Like in a FMK, Chloe's the F and Elena is the M all day.
I never asked you because I know you hate the train.
Well, it's just the train was really cool. I really liked it, like the idea of it. I think it's just still an old enough game to where the execution kind of pissed me off, because like I swear to God, dude, I made that first jump onto a Jeep and it bounced me off, and I'm like, what, how the fuck else am I supposed to get to this Jeep? So then I got back, and it was like literally right before checkpoint 2. So I go through the entire section again. I get to that Jeep. I just jump again, and he holds it. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, I did the same
That's
exact thing
amazing.
last time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
I get that. It's a little weird with the snapping. I think 3 really perfected the platforming, in my opinion.
well, that's good. But what are
Uh,
you gonna say besides
the
the train?
I want the building in chapter 6, I think.
Oh yeah, in was
when it
not
like falls
Nepal?
apart. Yeah, Nepal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or-
well,
yeah.
and the helicopter in general. I mean, that was
Yeah, that
really,
fight is
really
amazing.
fun. Like that was a really cool. Like the set pieces in this game are just straight up fun.
Yeah, they're such a level up from Uncharted 1 too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you could really tell they were like in their bag when they were making these. And yeah, so I think the game put me at like 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, you're pretty much like near the end. You got a third left. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And
That is one thing about Uncharted 2. I'm not the biggest fan of the pacing near the end. I think it goes on a little long, but
gotcha.
it's still really fun the whole way through.
Yeah, and like I'm having a good time. I think it's been a really fun game, and I think after this I'm gonna start Bond because I think first off I cannot go through all 4. I just won't have the time for it. But I think
you gotta be careful with 3 as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you know I'm really starting to understand like the pedigree here, and like it does give me more of a respect for Naughty Dog because like I've played Crash, I've played The Last of Us, but Uncharted is like the last major one.
Whoa!
Okay, I'm not trying to shit on
so-
Jack. I'm not trying to shit on
that is-
Jack.
Dark,
That's
he really
crazy.
he say, yeah, I played Mario, I played Zelda, but Pokemon, who's that? That's the type
Who's
of
this
energy I
poser
heard.
But
Ouch.
I'll you know what I'm gonna go see if there's a Jack and Daxter, or maybe actually fuck that. I'll just go emulate it. I'll go play a Jack.
I mean, yeah, they're all
Yeah.
on PlayStation anyways, but yeah, you might as well just emulate them.
So in terms of I break this up now because I usually keep track of shit like this. Also, I have another one I'll bring up in a bit. The Jack games have been fully ported to PC, not via emulate like
Yeah, they got recompiled.
comps,
Oh,
and they're incredible. The whole series is like that.
Yeah, Jack 1 is an immaculate 3D platformer, and Jack 2 and 3 are awesome GTA clones. 2 is my favorite.
ooh, okay. I
Oh,
might
did you
just
not
skip
know
the
that
two
about
then.
Jack?
No, I just assumed like it was another like Ratchet and Clank where it's just a platformer.
Okay, just a platformer. Let's calm down for a second. But so it's like, yeah, the second and third one they change it up a lot.
Interesting. Okay, I might have to check out Jack too. So yeah, anyway, Uncharted 2 has been great, and then I had plans really to get back to Sea of Stars and Zelda, and then on
It
I think
happens.
it was Sunday or Monday night, I was listening to a podcast.
Uh-oh.
Shout out Fire Escape with Dan Reichert, Mike Mahardy, and Mary Kish. Great podcast. And Mary brought up a game called TerraTech Legion. And her elevator pitch for TerraTech Legion was Vampire Survivors Bullet Hell, where you drive a car and you customize it like a Besiege, or I think Mike Minotti even said
Why did you tell me about this, Bob?
like a
Oh,
gummy
no,
ship.
I'm looking at
Like
it
Mike Minotti said it gives very Kingdom Heart gummy ship vibes.
Oh, what the
And
fuck?
I immediately went to Steam, saw one screenshot, and was like, "Yup, I buy this," and it is taking over my life. It
Yeah,
is
looks so
going to be
beautiful.
in my top 10 at the end of the year, without a doubt, and I cannot stop playing this fucking game. It is so good. It is such a fun twist on the bullet hell genre. Obviously, I like cars. I like driving around. This is not a driving game. It's just a method of transportation.
No,
But
this looks
it
quick.
it being based around vehicles and stuff, and like you can just make the most monstrable vehicles imaginable because they have building blocks with it, so you can really like jut things out and go as high as you want. And all the different weapon systems, like they have like 5 different types of weapon systems. They have these crazy upgrade paths. They have 4 different characters, 5 different planets, tiers on the planets. It is so unbelievably addicting. I am just obsessed with this game, and I will probably be playing this for the rest of July, if not longer.
Yeah, I just bought it.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say about it is that the runs are
$8. This looks peak.
100%. The one thing I will say about it is that that the runs are a little long. They can go to 20 to 30 minutes, to the point where it's like, if you do one last one before bed, you better make sure you're good on bed because you're going to lose sleep over it. But it is a it's a little clunky at first once you like, but I think that's with all of these bullet hells. Like you have to learn the systems, but once you do, that thing clicks like nothing else. And yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. I can't stop playing it.
Dude, okay. Steam has Dead Space Remake for $6.
Yeah, the summer sale's going on right now.
Yeah. And that's the other thing we didn't talk about earlier. Like Steam sales are so good that they might as well be physical copies.
Metro 2033 Redux for 99 cents.
Yeah. It's so
$1.
easy to yeah. It's insane.
It's the same price as a Big Gulp. Oh, Carrion, I've heard about this. Wait, oh my god, this is $1. Okay, I gotta stop. Now I'm just adding a bunch of shit again. God, dude. Fuck PlayStation. Why the hell wouldn't you just buy stuff on Steam? Ratcoin is $10 now? Oh my god, yes. Okay. I gotta stop.
Focus,
Dark, do you have
focus.
anything you were playing?
Oh, I got a lot. Actually, I got a lot.
Just shout some stuff out real quick.
All right, so just to get some shit from before I out of the way, I've slowly been replaying through the Kingdom Hearts series. I beat one, and I did a fucking chain of memories. Kingdom Hearts 1 holds up really well. I was really surprised. It's been fucking hell 8 years since I played the last one. Well, since I played a 1 the first time, and it holds up well. It's a little bit. It's not as janky as I remember it, but it holds up. Chain of Memories, that game fucking sucks. But that's about it.
That's the fucking card bullshit, right? Yeah, fuck
That's
that
the
game.
card one, and the story is important, but everything else is not. Then I went to Castlevania, and I was telling you about this. I went through both Order of Ecclesia and Dawn of Sorrow. I have mixed
the wrong
opinions
one
on
first.
both. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I told you what happened.
It's not.
Um,
I'm surprised about Order of Ecclesia got a baddie as the character, bro.
I
And you
like
hated it.
it. I didn't hate it. I was just lower on it because it felt slow.
That's not.
Now keep in mind. So here's the thing: the problem with Order of Ecclesia is that this is me following Oreo Sorry. Which
Yeah, no, that's good.
I don't think that was very fair of me to do. But Order of Ecclesia was really good. I liked the combat system. I liked the glyphs. Some of the glyphs are more broken than others, which is fine. That's to be
I
expected.
mean, yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Movement speed was a little bit slow. I wish we'd seen more of her. She is a really interesting character, and I like the idea of
Yeah, I love
Beaumont's
Shanoa.
not really.
She's
The
like my
idea of
favorite.
Beaumont's not really being the focus is pretty cool. So I thought it was like a solid 7.58 game for me. It was a fun time to go. But then you
Is
mentioned
that bench 7.58 or is
No, this
that
is
your
mine.
7.58?
so I don't go to bench fucking ratings. But then went to Donosaur. Donosaur is more my jam. Immediately back to what felt familiar. I don't think it's better than Aria though. There's some little.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's some things about it, like when you defeat a boss and you have to do like the button inputs. I was like, eh. Apparently, because I'm playing this via
the
the
button
collection.
inputs. I know what you're talking about. I hated that shit.
I'm playing this via the collection, so for me, it's button inputs. But apparently on the DS, you had to use the stylus and draw the fucking symbols. I would have crashed. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of like DS elements. There was like this one puzzle with ice blocks, and you had to use the stylus to destroy the ice blocks. I was like, what is happening? In the collection, you have to use the joystick to do that. So it's little things like that that do bring it down for me. It's still like an 8.5 or 9 for me though, Dawn of Sorrow.
That's
And
all fair. I get it.
to put into perspective, I'd give Aria Sorrow a straight up flat 10. That's like a must play Castlevania game for me. And then
Order of Ecclesia is like my number 3 favorite Castlevania, so I'm surprised that. By the way, you like Dawn of Sorrow more than Order of Ecclesia. Bop, if you don't know, Order of Ecclesia, female protagonist, Dawn of Sorrow, male protagonist. Ooh, sounds a little anti-woke to me. Sounds a little like you're a
male protagonist in this duology is like the coolest fucking protagonist. The idea of having Dracula reincarnated. What?
He's cool as hell, but he's not my girl Shanoa.
That's fair.
But no, I'm fair with your takes are fair.
And then after that, something interesting I wanted to do was like when I replayed through Kingdom Hearts, I had a really good time with it. I was like, hey, what if I go back to the older Final Fantasies that I didn't enjoy as much, or that I haven't played in a long time, and then give them a second chance now that I'm older and stuff. So I went back, and the two that I really have problems with was Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy 16. 16, I don't think my opinions are gonna change that much, but for 10, I've been going through it, and I did mod the game, and I didn't mod it too much. I only modded it to the point where everyone gets AP and EXP pretty much. Like it's pretty much an EXP share. So pretty much the way it
Just
works
fuck
in
games that don't have that.
pretty much the way that it works in Final Fantasy X is that the combat system is amazing. Everyone has a role, and you can swap party members in and out instantaneously. It doesn't take up a turn. So it makes it really nice. Problem is, there'll be 3 or so enemies, but you have like 9 fucking party members, and if you want them to get EXP, they all have to do something during the turn, during the battle. So we'll go from a 3-turn battle turns into like a 12-turn battle, just for them to get EXP. With the mod, is 3-turn battles. It's 100% better.
Yeah, that sounds way better.
Yeah, the combat with this in mind, I don't know why this wasn't included in the remasters. It's been fantastic. The story is hitting a lot more than it did before. Not sure if the story is going to change all that much for me. I also just to check something out. One of the games I was really high on, which was Final Fantasy 13. That's a really hot take for a lot of people. That I really enjoyed that game. I went back to it just to see like how it is. I'm not that far into it whatsoever. I'm still very positive on it. I like how linear it is, and I like the casting characters, and I think the idea of the way that they did their trilogy compared to like FF7 is really unique. It's still a clusterfuck, but
yeah,
but that's about it.
No, that's awesome.
Dark, I'll give you some credit here. One of my good friends that lives here, who is also a big Final Fantasy freak, will vouch to his death about 13 being his favorite.
So that's the thing. 13 is very hit or miss. Is either you hate it or you love it. And I'm in the boat that I loved it. The thing with 13 is that it is very like it's a hallway simulator for like the first 80% of the game. Then the last 20 opens up. People didn't like that with Final Fantasy.
I hate JRPG fans. They always be like, "Oh, it's pretty shitty for like 40 hours, but the last 10 hours." I'm like, "Shut up."
So Final Fantasy 10 and 16 is also pretty lit. It's literally like that. Like in that, like if you want like something to reference it to. There's not much going on besides just like walk straight to the next story beat. And if you enjoy the story, you're gonna have a great time. If you don't enjoy the story, if you don't fuck up the characters or the combat, you're not gonna enjoy this game whatsoever.
Fair enough, man. Interesting to hear. Glad we're positive on games, guys. Because God knows the industry is not very fun. So
you want some more positive news?
What's up?
You got me going down a rabbit hole. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is currently $16 on Steam.
Oh, that's so
boy.
worth it.
And that's such a good deal.
Yeah, I bought that game physically at launch, and it's still my copy. Can't take that away from me, PlayStation. Dude, fucking Witcher 3 is $4. That is so funny. $2 for carrying? Like, oh my god. I just put 6 games in my cart and it's $15. I gotta stop. I'm losing money.
Because when are you ever gonna play these?
Yeah, hey, you never know, man. With the PC,
I know, but that's the problem. That's the problem. It's like
that's how they get
to it.
They got me, man. They got me. Literally, man. I look at this. I'm like, fucking PlayStation sucks. So PlayStation has a summer sale too. I just want to point out. So on the deals, if you go to July savings, their summer sale, the first game here is Call of Duty Black Ops 7 Vault Edition for $60.
Oh my god!
Yeah, originally it's $100 for the Vault Edition. Now it's $60. Okay. You can get The Forest for $6. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, $30. That's a game that you can buy for like $10. But
physically,
if you want the PS5 version, you can get it for $30 digitally. Thank you, Steam. Shout out Steam. They're the best platform for a reason. PC gamers are annoying as shit, but hey, you know what? They had a point in the long run. So shout out to them. Anyways, boys, I'm tired. I want to play video games and be happy. Thank you guys for joining me as I ranted and raved constantly this whole podcast. Thank you for sticking with me and ranting with me. I think we're gonna head out. Bob, have a great day. Dark, have a great day. Say good night.
Hey, Wolf.
Everybody.
Wolf, have a great day.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I'm doing okay.
I'm not.
Get better.
Thank you for joining me, everybody. I'm gonna cry now. Bye bye.